Welcome guys, I'm Vantar and welcome to Arsenal, the first map in our map breakdown series of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Now looking at Arsenal, it's a fairly classic Call of Duty 3-lane map. It's mostly mid to long range gunfights, however all guns do have a good chance to excel on this map. So starting off, let's start off with where all matches begin, right there in the spawns. I call the first spawn the test spawn, because you can see there's two mantises in little testing cubicles right there in the middle. The other spawn I call stair spawn just because it has the two largest staircases on the map. Now there are two kind of jump spots that you can get to on this stair spawn. First is on these flower beds right across from the bridge here. You actually can jump up onto the bridge. Now this is useful when you're trying to stay out of line of sight of the person in the spawn building that's kind of watching towards lobby. However, it isn't very good just because you are very exposed to behind you and the other side of the bridge. The other way that you can go is you can actually jump from the stairs to the window here. It's a direct flank into the building. It's a lot more covered. You just simply run down the stairs, jump towards that window, but then you have to turn towards the window again as you attempt to mantle, and it'll bring you right into the side. This is actually my preferred way to take out anybody that's sitting in that spawn building lobby. Alright, now that we got the spawns out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the lanes. The first lane here I call gun lane because of the two big cannons at almost the middle of their lane there. Most of the sight lines on this lane are going to be mid to long range. There is one cut over to the middle lane at almost dead center of the lane through the window. This window cut does give a really good control of mid. As long as you have someone else watching the lower boxes on their side, it works extremely well. There is one sneaky line of sight on this lane. It's best with a sniper or a good accurate long range weapon. Easiest way to get here is if you spawn on the test spawn side, take a left, and you can hop on the boxes at the edge of the map. And you'll be able to see anybody peeking around the left side of the cannons on that outside most. You'll see them long before they see you. There's not much fighting over on this lane. For the most part, you'll see one or two at the beginning of the match, and then you'll mostly see people using it as a flank route. It doesn't see a whole lot of gunfights. Alright, now let's go ahead and move on to the mid lane. Most of your gunfights in this lane are going to be short to medium range. It's a fairly busy lane. There is one cut over to the gun lane through that window cut like we just talked about. You can also cut over to the vent lane through the vents with two different possible exits. On either side of the very middle room there is a lobby. One side is called kitchen because you'll see a lot of tables and vending machines, food, that type of stuff. On the other side you have the lobby, just for easy call outs so that everyone can keep straight where opponents are. There are 4 tricks that you can use in this middle lane. First is if you want to check the vents without actually having to go in, you can stand on the desks below the vent in the middle of the map and hop and be able to see either side. It works on both sides as you can see here. You can also shoot through the exposed vent in the middle of the map. However, without full metal jacket, it only does half of the damage. If you want to spend a lot of time moving in the vents, 2 very good things to have is either have the Ruin grapple, because he can very quickly go through the vents using this, or the perk Stalker. The last trick that you can use in this middle lane is if you shoot any of the doors leading into the lobbies, they will open before you actually get there. You can use this to great effect if you're using an equipment like concussion, or if you're planning to frag a lobby or the center room. This is very helpful, especially if you have a teammate shooting the door just before you lob in your equipment. And then last but certainly not least, we have the vent lane. It's mostly mid to long range engagements. Both the lobby and the kitchen have a cut over to the vent lane here. There are 2 actual entrances into the vents. There are kind of 3 trick spots that you can use on this. If you spawn on the stairs spawn, you can go all the way to the left, hop on the edge of the map, and you can see all the way down to that farthest planter where people will go to the outside of it a lot of times. Very useful with a sniper or another good, accurate, long-range weapon. There are two other sneaky line of sights that you can use. However, they both are from you starting at the same position. It's just a different way to look at two different spots. How you do this one is if you go to that very last planter and go to the outside, you can hop up on the edge and actually peek over the shrubbery into the trophy window or the lower door for the trophy cut. As you can see, it's very difficult to see someone who hops here. However, anybody that isn't in that area but more directly to your side is going to have an easy time getting to you. The vent lane is the busiest of the lanes, so be careful anytime going over here. One last trick that you can use on this map, especially to avoid choke spots on the vent lane or on the guns lane, is you can actually go outside of the map for 5 seconds. So if people are holding watching a specific choke, you can go outside the map just to get a surprise angle on them that they won't ever be expecting. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe this video. I'm Vantar, wishing you farewell.